It'll only take me about 30 minutes max, and even then, I'm still gonna have to wait forever just to get in. So, catch you there. BBC headquarters in Belfast. Well, it's not one of the main areas. It's just a little bit down there's where my dad works. And I did better be with movie hosts and it's across the street from me. Give an idea of So, this is my baby house, where I got my first date and got my first kiss. Let's see what movies. Let's make this stories. Yes, I do Crazy Tuesdays. Flatline is interesting, I really want to see it. I haven't heard of these ones. I've heard of Goodbye Christopher Robin. And here's a view of this whole city center vibes here. So we look at the lights yeah, another one of the churches, which I chose in high school. My French teacher, / music teacher, my great grandfather. He was making sure to get rid of the bombs as the Belfast Blitz in the Second World War. Actually, I don't get it. Don't know when, don't know how, but I do want to get one of these. See, they say they are building a better Belfast. Once again, the Belfast traveling history, but it's back at Shaftesbury Square, as you saw on the bus earlier. I'm just walking around, trying to get to the church as usual. So, let's see. It's not really that much interesting here on Shaftesbury Square. You get a KFC, something called Brooklyn Square, and you get the South Belfast NI Supporters Club. But overall, it's just normal. In fact, here's a Halifax. Not too sure what they are, but I think they're like a banking company. But they use these a lot. Just missed a chance to show you, but they're talking about Halloween up here. Oh. No, I'm in Botanic Avenue. And yet again, there's another church. That building there is known as, I think it's the Hope Church. It's a church that I think my sign language teacher would have gone to because he himself is deaf. So, and they're a very welcoming church for deaf people stationed. One day I'll have to get one of those trains just to get to Dublin in order to get to my home. And there's a better view of the tree jumpers on the subway when you have enough money. Only very useful bus there and a snack. But yeah, we're getting kind of close. We're almost in the Holy Land, as they call it. This will be just where the university students are. This area. This area brings back a lot of memories. Right, so first of all, we're still in Botanic, right? But this area here, there's a place called China. It's right down in front of me, if I went further down the road. And that's where I went to for a party for my friend Popsy, as I told you about in my Halloween story. This was for her birthday party. I was still very much in love with her. And then I ended up getting over her. It was a very emotional time for me. And it was also when I met her parents, and I was very afraid of that. Didn't know what her parents were going to think of me. So yeah, that's what China is. Oh, yeah, what China would be. This is where I head over to for my church. And right there is another one of the churches called Fitzroy. Again, Belfast is a very religious area, although it isn't like very integrated with religion. Here's another view of the Fitzroy Church. I've noticed something about all churches here. They all tend to serve tea and coffee. As you see, the doors are closed because they're not open yet. And my church is down there. Yes, it's down there. So you get an idea of how big this church is. We only saw the front. So, there's part of it. And there's the rest of it. And so now, we are approaching my church, which you may or may have not seen yet. I'll let you assume what it is. Ta-da! There's my church. Oh, you thought that? Man, it feels good to be under a bus shelter. It just began raining as soon as I started recording whenever I went to the spa. So, yeah. You may have thought that big building over that way was my church. But no. From what I hear, it's pretty much very cultic. My church is down there. So, yeah. I'm gonna just have to stick with recording right here because essentially my church doesn't start until 10:30. Which is why I go to the spa for a quick snack. Which is why I got this. So yeah, I'll see you when the church opens. So I should probably tell you a little bit more about why I go to church. And excuse me for looking at the other. So last year, whenever I was in year 12 or 5th year, I started sort of becoming a Christian in a way. For most of my life, I had already been Christian, but I never really identified with it, if you know what I mean. Mainly that's because the church my family would bring me to, not my mom and dad, but whenever I was with my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, my extended family. We have what they would call their family church, called Pin Oak, and not very interesting for a 6-year-old. I grew up at that church, yes, but all I remember were singing hymns, or hymns, if you want to call them that. I just remember singing hymns, sitting down at the pews, and it was overall a really boring atmosphere. Although, my grandfather did play the piano, so that was the fun part. And, it kind of really put me off of it. And, to be honest, whenever I was back at my house, which was in 3 hours away from us, from my extended family, I honestly, we just never went to church whenever I was at home by myself with my mom. It was just me, my mom, and my sister, and we didn't go to church. In fact, I think the last time me and my sister went to church was whenever my dad still lived with us at the same town. And that was pretty much, we went to a giant church called Green Acres. It was fun because I would, well, for like someone 5, 6-ish, it would be fun because we were at, Sunday school, which my church also does here now. So, fast forward a bit, we moved to Northern Ireland, me and my mom, my stepdad, and my sister, and, I never really classified myself as Christian anymore. There wasn't really anything that made me Christian.
So I began my life not as an atheist, but sort of having a natural curiosity for spirituality and spiritual questions. And along the lines, I became agnostic, or I believe God could exist but also couldn't. And that was for such a long time in my life. Yes, there were a couple of times I prayed, but that was pretty much for mutual respect, or I really wanted something out of life, so it was a selfish prayer. And along the lines, year 11 happens, and I still identify myself as being agnostic. And there's a whole problem coming into my life where essentially I had romance issues. I didn't call upon God for my issues, I called upon anger. And so I sort of didn't really get that much help. I didn't really have a relationship with God and with Jesus. I sort of just ended up not really caring, because from what I see, there were like a bunch of crazy Christians, and I know not everyone's like that, but that's kind of what put me off for a while. And so, as I said, in 5th year, I became non-denominational. I started saying yes, because there are so many different denominations of Christianity, and I don't believe there should be. And so my church is non-denominational. I go there. We have evangelicals, Catholics, we have everyone going there if they want. It's very integrated. It's a very open community as well. But let's go to my stories again. So, as I said, in 5th year, I became non-denominational. And it was like a couple months before the exams, I started reading from the Bible. I sort of got like this weird feeling at night before, as if someone was starting to choke me and it was hard to breathe. But then after a while, it just went away, and I started trying to continuously read from the Bible. I started off with the Gospel of Matthew in the New Testament, and now I'm on the Book of John. And yeah, then I went to Relentless, which is a Christian camp that my friend brought me to. Excuse me. And it really helped me out. It strengthened my faith. And before I went off to Relentless, my church had a service, and they were talking about, well, the person who was talking is now in India, but she was talking about how this girl spent quite a long time in the prayer room, and just ended up getting this warm feeling down her back. Yeah, when I was at Relentless and I went to that first service at night, I got this really warm feeling down the back of my neck, and it wasn't from this. And I suppose I was being called to. And at the same time, something that I've never experienced in my life happened that day. I managed to see a shooting star, which I'd always wanted to do, but it's so hard to see it in Northern Ireland because of the clouds, as you can see. And I also got to see the ISS, which was also really important to me. I'd always wanted to see it. I had the app. I was wanting to try and see it. And so that really started to make me wonder and become curious. And then the day after that, which was the Sunday, I got prayed for in order to make me stronger in my prayer. As in, I always needed people to be around me, and I'd always followed them. I never really had my own prayers, per se. And so I ended up growing with that, and I started... It was a couple of days after the Sunday. I think it was on Wednesday. Yeah, it must have been Wednesday, because I also got saved that day as well. I started being able to pray without other people around me. And then I got prayed for again, this time essentially for me wanting to know where to go because I want to do missionary work. Yes, it seems weird, but I had that dream when I was 8 as well. And so, Relentless pretty much saved me. And what I mean by was saved on Wednesday, I essentially gave my life back to Jesus again. Yes, I was non-denominational, but I never really had a connection until Relentless. And the thing is, Relentless was an evangelical church, like, evangelical place, but there are so many different other people there from different things. Like, someone from my youth group is a Methodist, and my youth group is very evangelical in nature. But yeah, I really felt something had an impact on me there. And I was at peace at Relentless, I guess. And so, after Relentless, the hardships of life came back again. Some started to get to me, but then I started realizing not to let them get to me again. And I won't say my heart is pure and good, because usually when you say that, it's not. I'll say that I'm trying to keep my heart open so that I can become good. It's just a very unusual thing. But yeah, I realize this is like 10 minutes long, and the vlog is probably going to be a little bit longer than that. But, you know, quick, to make a long story short, I go to church because I felt like I should. I had to find the perfect church, which is City Church Belfast. Alright guys, service starts in about 10 minutes, so I'll catch you later. Alright. I'm inside the church now. Service doesn't start until like 5 minutes. And as you can hear, music's beginning, the worship team is about to start. I'll probably film a little bit of that later, and then end the vlog as soon as I get home. So yeah, see you in a little bit.
For God is a king over all the earth. Praise him with a psalm. God reigns above the nations, sitting on his holy throne. So Heavenly Father, we come together this morning now. We come together to, as those verses say, Lord, to praise you. And Lord, we just pray that as our church fills up and everyone that's going to come through our doors this morning, we're all coming with an attitude to praise you, Lord. And even if we're not in that place, Lord, just pray that our worship as a church this morning can bring people into a place where they can just share a moment with you. So Lord, we just commit our service to you this morning. Be in this place with us this morning.
the local Belfast area, come down to University Avenue, the City Church. Fun environment, good people as well. There's gonna be a couple. I made a lot of new friends here, so it's gonna hear. So I'll see you guys in a bit. I might introduce you to some of my new friends if they're willing to be recorded. So as it turns out, my friends aren't here today, so I might end up seeing them next week, but we'll see a little bit more coming on because we got the student lunch coming up, and of course I'm going to that because free food, yay! But yeah, you may see a couple of more interesting faces other than just mine, if they'll remember the camera. Well, it's now student lunch time. Might be the final part of the vlog, so I'm back home now from church. Obviously I'm not going to show you the rest of my journey back home because privacy issues, but you got to see a day in the life of Light Wolf Productions. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I know it's like 30 minutes long, but come on, it's a vlog. Most vlogs are like that long. So I'll see you later. I gotta upload 4 videos, actually make that 6 videos because I gotta do a song cover, and I gotta upload the Halloween series as well, and this.